Most countries have special forces, but only a few build units designed to operate where survival itself becomes the mission. Under frozen seas, in total darkness, with no margin for error. Denmark is rarely the first country people think of when talking about elite military power. Yet, beneath that calm Scandinavian image exists one of the most selective and psychologically demanding special operations units in Europe. Today, we're going behind the scenes of power to uncover how Denmark's Special Operations Forces were built, why their combat divers are considered among the toughest in NATO, and what it actually takes to earn the right to operate in silence. Every nation develops elite units designed for highly specific, often extremely sensitive missions. These formations operate in secrecy, precision, and pressure that few others can handle. Italy has the GIS. The United Kingdom fields the legendary SAS. The United States relies on Delta Force. Poland deploys GROM. Ukraine has its Special Operations Forces. Israel is known for Sayeret Matkal. Each of these units reflects the military culture, strategic needs, and history of its country. Denmark is no exception to this rule. However, Denmark's approach to special operations is distinctly different, and in many ways mirrors the nation itself. Pragmatic, efficient, and carefully structured rather than built on sheer size or spectacle. Instead of relying on one large, all-encompassing special forces unit, Denmark has chosen a more refined model. Its Special Operations Forces are organized around 3 highly specialized formations, each engineered to perform a narrow but absolutely critical role within the broader defense structure. These units do not compete with one another. They complement each other. Together, they form a compact yet extremely capable system designed for modern, asymmetric warfare. And among these elite formations, one unit stands apart, not because of its size, but because of its mission, reputation, and the unique place it occupies within Denmark's military world. Denmark's Special Operations Command is built around a deliberately compact and carefully balanced structure. Rather than expanding outward, it concentrates capability into a small number of elite elements. At its core, the command is composed of a land-based Special Operations Unit, a maritime Special Operations Unit, and a highly specialized combat diver formation. Each of these units serves a clearly defined purpose. There is minimal overlap and no redundancy for the sake of prestige or scale. Every unit is small in size. Every unit operates independently when required, and every unit functions under an exceptionally high level of operational secrecy. Personnel are selected, trained, and deployed, with the expectation that they may operate isolated, unsupported, and far from conventional forces. The guiding principle behind this structure is not numerical strength. Instead, Denmark emphasizes precision over mass, adaptability over doctrine, and psychological endurance over brute force. Operators are expected to think independently, adjust rapidly, and perform flawlessly under extreme stress, often with limited information and zero margin for error. In Danish special operations, effectiveness is measured not by how many are deployed, but by how quietly, efficiently, and decisively the mission is completed. The story of Denmark's combat divers begins in the tense atmosphere of the Cold War, a period defined by constant readiness and the expectation of sudden conflict. At that time, Danish military planners faced a harsh and unavoidable reality. Denmark's geography was both a strength and a vulnerability. With its long, exposed coastline, narrow strategic straits, and immediate proximity to potential adversaries, the country would inevitably become a front line in any large-scale confrontation between major powers. In such a scenario, maritime sabotage, covert coastal insertions, and underwater operations were not hypothetical threats. They were certainties. Conventional naval forces alone were not sufficient to meet this challenge. Warships and patrol craft lacked the stealth and flexibility required to counter or conduct covert underwater missions in contested waters. Denmark needed a different kind of soldier. It needed operators who could infiltrate hostile areas directly from the sea, remain submerged and operational for extended periods, conduct reconnaissance, demolition, and direct action missions below the surface, and withdraw without leaving evidence of their presence. These soldiers would have to function in total silence, often alone or in very small teams, relying on discipline, endurance, and precision rather than firepower. It was from this strategic necessity that Denmark's combat diver capability was born. Carefully developed, highly selective, and purpose-built for maritime warfare, this force would become one of the most specialized elements within Denmark's special operations community, shaped from the beginning by secrecy, patience, and the unforgiving demands of underwater combat. Selection for Danish combat divers is not a test of raw strength or athleticism alone. Physical conditioning is assumed. What the process truly measures is something far rarer: resistance to mental collapse under sustained stress. From the very beginning, candidates are pushed into conditions designed not to injure them, but to strip away comfort, confidence, and emotional control. The instructors are not looking for who is the strongest in the room. They are watching to see who breaks first when strength stops mattering. Candidates are exposed to extreme and prolonged cold, often while wet and motionless, underwater stress that limits breath, vision, and orientation, severe sleep deprivation that erodes judgment and reaction time, continuous physical exhaustion with little or no recovery, psychological pressure specifically engineered to disrupt focus and decision-making. These stressors are layered deliberately. There's no single breaking point, just an accumulation of discomfort, confusion, and fatigue that slowly overwhelms most people. Failure is not only expected, it is built into the system. Most candidates will not finish. Many will withdraw early. Some will push themselves beyond reason and still fail. Completion is rare by design. The purpose of selection is brutally simple: to identify individuals who can remain calm, rational, and effective when every biological instinct tells them they should panic, quit, or lose control. In underwater combat, panic is fatal. Air is limited. Time is unforgiving. There is no room for hesitation or emotional error. Those who pass are not fearless. They are something more valuable. Individuals who can master fear, suppress instinct, and continue to function with precision when their body and mind are under maximum strain. The training system for Danish combat divers is deliberately stripped of myth and spectacle. Its purpose is not to create heroes or symbols. It is designed to produce reliable, disciplined operators. Individual ego is discouraged. Precision is demanded. Failure is treated as a lesson, not a weakness. Divers are trained to think independently when guidance is unavailable, operate for long periods in complete physical and mental isolation, make lethal, irreversible decisions without external support, adapt instantly when plans collapse and conditions change. From the earliest phases, trainees are conditioned to accept uncertainty as the norm. They learn that no mission unfolds exactly as planned, and survival often depends on judgment rather than strength. Training covers a wide spectrum of highly technical skills: underwater navigation in zero visibility, explosive placement on maritime and coastal targets, silent infiltration from sea to land and back again, close quarters combat in confined, high-risk environments. Each skill is drilled relentlessly. Movements are repeated until they become instinctive, because in underwater operations, there is no room for hesitation, confusion, or second-guessing. A single mistake beneath the surface can mean mission failure or death. The philosophy is simple and unforgiving. When stress peaks and conditions deteriorate, the operator must still function with clarity, discipline, and control. Training ensures that when conscious thought slows, the body and mind continue to act correctly, automatically, and without panic. Today, Denmark's Special Operations Forces operate in close coordination with NATO allies across a wide range of missions and operational environments. Although Denmark is a relatively small nation, its special operations community has earned a strong reputation within the alliance. Danish operators are consistently respected for high levels of discipline and professionalism, exceptional operational reliability in joint missions, seamless integration with allied special operations units, calm, deliberate decision-making under intense pressure. These qualities make Danish forces particularly effective in multinational task groups, where trust, interoperability, and consistency are critical. Danish operators are known for fitting into Allied formations quickly, adapting to different command structures, and performing without friction or unnecessary visibility. Within NATO, Denmark's combat divers occupy a especially valued niche. They are frequently selected for missions where discretion outweighs tempo, operations in which remaining undetected is more important than rapid action, and where patience and precision define success. Their ability to operate quietly in complex maritime environments makes them well-suited for reconnaissance, preparation of the battle space, and sensitive support roles that demand absolute secrecy. Rather than leading large-scale assaults, Danish combat divers often enable others to succeed, gathering intelligence, shaping conditions, and removing obstacles before conventional or allied special forces move in. In modern NATO operations, their strength lies not in scale, but in trust. When missions require operators who can work silently, integrate smoothly, and make the right decision without guidance or recognition, Denmark's Special Operations Forces, and their combat divers in particular, are among those most relied upon. Denmark has never attempted to compete with larger military powers through scale, mass mobilization, or sheer numbers. Such an approach would be inefficient and unnecessary, given the country's size, geography, and strategic priorities. Instead, Denmark has chosen a far more deliberate path. It invests in selection over recruitment, accepting that most applicants should fail, quality over quantity, prioritizing capability rather than headcount, long-term operator development, treating experience as a strategic asset. This philosophy shapes every layer of Danish special operations. Fewer people are selected, but those who are chosen receive years of continuous training, refinement, and operational exposure. Skills are not rushed. Judgment is not improvised. Trust is built slowly and reinforced through repetition and real-world missions. Operators are expected to grow over time, not burn out quickly. Institutional knowledge is preserved, mistakes are analyzed, lessons are absorbed and passed on. The system values maturity and consistency just as much as physical performance. The outcome is a force that consistently punches far above its weight. Not through dramatic displays, not through media visibility, not through overwhelming force, but through quiet effectiveness. Danish special operations units succeed because they are rarely noticed, rarely rushed, and rarely forced to rely on luck. When they are deployed, objectives are clear, execution is precise, and results are achieved with minimal friction. In modern conflict, where ambiguity, deniability, and precision matter more than spectacle, Denmark's approach proves that small, disciplined, and highly specialized forces can have a strategic impact far beyond their size. Denmark's combat divers will never be widely known, their names will not appear in headlines, and their missions will rarely be acknowledged. And that is exactly how they want it. They operate in environments where mistakes cannot be corrected once made, where extraction is uncertain and rescue is unlikely, where every movement, every breath, and every decision must be controlled. They work in silence because silence is not a preference, it is survival. In the dark, beneath the surface, there is no room for hesitation or recognition. Only discipline, patience, and absolute control separate success from failure. This is what elite power looks like when it does not need to announce itself, when effectiveness matters more than attention, when results speak quietly, and only to those meant to hear them. And with that, thank you for watching this video. For the end, like it or dislike it. Leave a comment, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe. Help the channel grow. See you later.